So, hello. I just cannot get it where I can actually just basically, I'm going to have to put my mouse down. So, trying to get started when you're standing up can be a pain in the bum. And that's so, good evening and welcome, and I hope everything's okay. I've got a feeling my mic may be a little bit too high, but anyhow, today, or rather tonight, basically I'm just going to fit Bucttkicker unit to the frame to show university over in Germany how it mounts and basic setup and basic programs you need and what you need to do, basics. I'm not going to go into full setup. I am having to use additional software, which is one thing they don't actually state when they advertise your Bucttkicker. It's Bucttkicker 2, by the way. They don't actually really advertise that when you buy the Bucttkicker that it's just, oh yeah, just get up and go. It's not really. You do have to get additional software. Some of it does actually cost some money. Depends what you're doing. But basically, first off, I'm going to go through. We're going to actually mount the Bucttkicker, and I do have a point on my frames that is specific for the Bucttkicker, and it's placed so that the actual vibration is right underneath your bottom, so it's in the right place, and then that transmits. This is the back of the bike, this part coming here, so going that way is forward, or it's hard to show the camera. That way is forward, that way is back. Yeah, okay. I had to do it back to front because it's on the left hand side. And as you can see, I've got it in front of my CVR. So it's kind of awkward to do as per normal with me. Yes, I do smoke, sorry. Right, so it's very simple. Basically, I mean, when I send the Bucttkicker out, because I'll get it and mount it, and there are a few things you have to do in order to make sure that you don't get vibration sounds, right? Which took me a long time to find one, which I will show you how it's cured. But basically, you have on the Bucttkicker, you've got, there's the actual transducer itself. And at the back, we're going to try and get this the right way round now. Now you can see how this part, this is your adjuster, and this is the arm. So you lift it up, then that arm flips out, and then you put that around a round tube or square tube. Then that goes in, goes up like that, and then you tighten it. So, putting that into practice, I prefer to have it where the mount is hanging down. So I put, this is the top, so the mount's hanging down, and we will then put it over here. You've got that bit here. Best to put it on first. So I've already got it kind of adjusted, so I've already got this bit on. But because it's just about there, all I need to do is make it so it will come out a bit further. Go on, get on there. It will slide on. And I think with this one, with the BMW, I'm going to put it down slightly at that angle. Then you tighten it up. But remember, this has got to have bodywork on it, and you can mount it with the bodywork on. I've mounted it without the bodywork, because otherwise the bodywork would be covering it. So, not only that, but this part here is important. Going all the way down this tube, and this is the separator here in the middle. So in the middle of this, there is a piece of metal that's formed like that. Now this means that, if you look in the little picture, this will stop where those two pieces join together. They cannot no matter if that becomes totally loose, the frames can't come apart and bend, because this will stop it. And it mounts like that. So if you look at the profile, you can see the open part to the side. So I've got one of these sitting in here. Now the problem is, and it took me a long time to find this, with this sitting inside and it's not bolted, it will, when you're using the Buttkicker, it will resonate. So what I've done is very simple, a brass strip. This is just one to show. And it's got a little hook at the end. Okay, this is just my one for demonstration. But this will sit inside like that. And if you can see that there, see the hook facing to the front. So you put that in from the top, underneath. You see if it'll go at the back, or maybe it will need to go at the front. If it needs to go at the front, then it will face that way. You need the hook facing to the centre. You slide it down so that it goes there. Right, now what that is there is where you've got a tube around this, okay? So this is inside the frame. Well, there's a little gap at one point, and this will vibrate. The reason this has to be a U is otherwise it would not fit inside that skill. It's practically impossible to get the skill to do exactly what you want. And if I did it without any machinery and everything, it will probably put the price up by like £300–400 just to make one of these that was specially machined and fitted. So this is the cure. And as you can see, very simple but solid. It won't bend or break. And that simply sits inside like that. This is how it actually sits. So you can actually see the gap there. And then, well, I just dump that down on top of it. Now I've pushed it down, I can't get it out. Or can I? No, I just pushed it down with that, so I can't get it out. Come on. Yeah, okay. Right, so, you know, another way to show you. Basically, this will slide in there, like that. I don't know if you can see that. Well, if I try it from this side, it slides in there. And obviously that hook will slide and point inside because it will be over the lip. But that is actually the cure to stopping this damn buzzing that I was getting, and I pulled the system apart. I couldn't figure out where is it coming from. And that, but found it in the end. So, we've got our mount on. Our cable, we're gonna, oh yeah, I can undo it. This has a dedicated cable that goes to the main control unit, which I'll show you in a second. Then you get a really long cable that comes with it. And that has a connector, one end, like this. Ah, come on, I'll put it in front of the bloody camera. You can see it's got two holes. Oh, come on. It's got two holes. One's a little bit smaller than the other, so it only actually goes one way. And in this case, we've got the two pins. You can just about see one pin is actually smaller than the other. That then goes together. And I do actually have to undo that one, don't I? Yes. You see, I am going to do a demo of it, but I'm having to think because I'm not going to go behind my computer because that means climbing behind my screen and going everywhere to plug it in. So I'm not going to do that. And the other end from that cable, you have this, and you can just, if I can get it in the right light, see there is a minus and a plus. Show you where that goes in a second. So Let me get this connected up first before I forget. Otherwise I plug it into the thing and won't get it in. And it really does, you can't push it in the wrong way. So the connector between the Buttkicker itself and the control cable will go to the main control unit. You can't really put it together the wrong way. So it's pretty good. But this cable, you need to ensure you've got plus going to the red and the minus to the black. Very important. So we're now going to show you that. So here's the back of our control unit. As you can see, you've got this. And I'm going to make sure I look at it. So, plus, minus, they go like that. Right now, you move this over. Then, yeah, I need to show you all of this. So, these are your line inputs. You only use the top one. If you link this with another Buttkicker unit, you use the bottom one. You only use the top one. Okay, so that's the only one that you're going to need to link from this unit to your computer so that it receives an input from the computer. You only use this top one. And then this input here is simply, yes, your power. Make sure your power's off. If you connect any cables whatsoever, make sure you turn the unit off. Okay, and always do it by the back power button. And if you want to be safe, just pull it out. And but that is the best way to do it. So now I'm going to quickly show you the front. So for simulation, basically you've got your power button. Then you've got your low filter. Okay, now low filter, that is basically if you're listening to music or watching a movie. Your high, that's the one you want to press in. So this one, you want to make sure it's pressed out, so it's sticking out. This one, you want to make sure it's pressed in. And these are the volume control, and you've got then the input for your remote, which I'll show you in a second. I've set it at the moment, you want it between 70 and 90, okay, hertz. That's the frequency that you basically use for simulators. So, I've got the remote here. As you can see, this only mounts in one way. See the cable there? That goes in like that. Basically, you will have, I'll show you, the flat top. So the flat bit will be at the top. And that's for your remote. So it's not a wireless remote, it's fully plugged in. And I prefer to have everything plugged in before you power it up using the remote. So I'll take it off for now. There are different ways to plug your audio in. So say you've got an old computer and you've got your green or your center, you have a plug like, where's the right one I'm going to use? So you've got two plugs that go into the back. It doesn't matter if you use the red or the black one, but I just use black. Goes into the very top one, so the white hole, you put the black one, and then the other end, you can plug into either a headphone jack, so a headphone and a speaker jack, or, well, headphone really, not forget speaker, headphone jack, or for the center speaker for your computer, which is the green one on the back of your computer. Now, if you're already using the green one on the back of your computer, it does come with a splitter, which has two females, one male. So you plug the male into your computer, then the one that you normally plug into your computer goes into one, and the one going into your Buttkicker goes into the other. So you've got a splitter that enables you to do that. And then depending, they've got splitters of different types. So you've got a cable like that, and yeah, and then another one which is like that. So, you know, they've got a couple of plugs. Basically everyone will be covered no matter what. So I'm going to quickly plug this in just over here, out of line of camera. if I can get my bum over here, and try and knock the camera off. This big camera jack is right in front. I'm basically working this doing it blind. Right. Oh, I upset something, but well, whatever. Oh, I think that was the camera. No, camera's still on, okay. Right, well, that should be everything plugged in. Except for the remote. Just wait, then going to plug in. The reason I'm doing this, I already have mine set up, but I want to make sure the system fully functions and do it live. So, here's the remote. It simply has a power button and intensity up and down. Now the intensity is what basically is going to cause the, how can I say it? It will make the vibration a lot sharper. Now my cameras are going in and out, as I can see. But this is rather awkward to do with autofocus. Logitech's not the best autofocus. So anyhow, right. Don't even know if I'm bloody streaming yet. So, now that's on, we need to get to the software part. Now for this, I'd like to be able to sit down and do it, but that means changing all my cameras around. So I am going to try, and you'll have to excuse that till you do. I've had this for the last 3 weeks since an update from Windows, even though I've now updated to the latest Windows and tried everything. And yes, I've gone through power and everything, and my PSU is perfect. There's no problems with the PSU. It's Windows, and I hate it. I just can't get rid of it. It's turning something on and off, and it's not, I don't think it's a USB device, funnily enough. It's some notification that Windows is doing something, and I can't figure out which one it is. So, now, we've hard connected the unit. Now we need to have some software. So the first thing you're going to need to do is basically go and download a piece of software, and I am now going to close my Brio, so my big one, and close that for now. So you need a piece of software in order that you've got your computer sending an audio signal out, and you're basically telling it, right, it's sending a signal out to your speakers. But now you want it to also send a signal out to the Buttkicker control unit. To do that, there's free software, and this one is absolutely brilliant. It's called Voicemeeter. It's free. I haven't put links in. Just Google it, Voicemeeter, and basically what you'll get is Voicemeeter program. You then download it, install it, and there's Voicemeeter Banana, which I think most people are using. I have not learned to use the software properly yet. I just haven't had the chance. With the virus and everything, I'm so behind them so much. So anyhow, this is Voicemeeter, and basically this allows, so this is my output, okay? This is my actual audio output, and this is the output that goes to the Buttkicker. But for this to work, you have to first off open your sound meter. So open your sound controls, and I normally use my digital output. So instead of the signal now going to my digital output, once you install Voicemeeter, you'll see it in here. And what you do is, instead of using your digital out or your speakers or your headphones or anything, you simply use Voicemeeter input. So you select that as your default. I've already done it, so it's already saying it's default. So that's what's being used at the moment. I am using Voicemeeter while I'm recording. I've left it open because I am recording, well, streaming. So it made it simpler for me. And yes, something turned on and off. You can see how annoying it can be. Right, so once you've told Windows in the sound controller to use voice meter, you can then close that off. And now you'll open up voice meter and you'll select. Now I'm not going to give you how to do all of this. You simply make sure that you've got two channels, A and B. So here's A, here's B. So watch, you choose up here, this is where you'll select what you want and you can choose how you've got it. I'm telling it that it's listening to my Realtek digital because that's what I use for my normal output. Then A2 is the one that's going to go to my high definition, which means that I'm splitting it. This is where you have to be careful, and this is why once you've installed it, watch. You see, I've started it on my other screen, nearly knocked out my live screen. So once you started this, you're almost good to go, almost. But there's another problem. This is only good for basic audio input. And you can't really use it in any game because not every game is giving a proper output. This will only work to a certain degree. But if you've got GP bikes, which obviously I have because I've designed the system for it, and the people that are going to be using this will be using GP bikes, then you need to buy yourself additional software. Normally, I mean, I use Sim Racing Studio, which costs £40 or €49, I think it is, or $49 as well. And Sim Racing Studio, I'll now pull that up. Funnily enough, it only comes up when you start the program. It goes straight to a website, so it's run through your browser, which I don't like because that means if I'm offline I can't use it or what. So I've still got to look into that. So I'm going to start up Sim Racing Studio, which is there. So now we've got this. So once you've paid for a license for this, and it's a lifetime license, if you start something like GP Bikes, you can check what software it's for. It'll do Project Cars, whatever. But for bikes, it only does, I think there's MotoGP 18 is the only one, and MX Bikes and GP Bikes from Piposo. So I'm using GP Bikes, MX Bikes, and therefore when I start the game, this program recognizes it. So once again, go through tutorials, but basically it's a case of you go into setup, you set the voice meter input, and then you simply put it to center speaker. Because you're only doing one speaker, you've only got one transducer, you're doing one speaker. So you set it to one speaker. Then you can go to tuning, and then you set it to shake, because it's a shaker. Make sure your shake box is checked, and then you can set up for all the different things. Now I'm going to try, okay, first of all we're going to actually run a test in setup and see that this is working. So I'm going to turn it on. I've never used this, so I don't know. I'm going to power it up. It clicks, it's gone green. Right. I don't know what the intensity is at. So you have to adjust your intensity. Now I can't remember where you test. Right here. So you can see here, so if you go down further, you've got your voice meter, center speaker, and this is the channel, center channel, okay? So we press test. It didn't go right. Turn me. That's again. Oh, I was turning minus. Okay. There it is. Okay, so I don't know if you hear that click. That click is in fact that is that thing vibrating. Now that's just a quick test to say, oh, is it vibrating? Is it going to vibrate? Yeah, that is definitely vibrating. Okay, so that's just a test to make sure is the transducer working. Now, I think if, this is going to be funny. I don't know if I've got that controller plugged in, the GP bikes. So, can we try a live, which means me having to use that to get a vibration on this. But it'll also show you that when you start GP bikes, it'll automatically come in, and where it says standby here, watch when my mouse is screaming around, that's a standby, it'll recognise GP bikes are started. And it's really good because every time I change to a different bike and I set the settings differently with a different bike, you can save each individual bike. So for when you're giving gas, when you're braking, and that's where you then go to your tuning, and then you've got here, you've got engine, gear, suspension, your vertical G, impact, longitudinal G acceleration and deceleration, so braking and accelerating, lateral G and traction loss. You can tune a different vibration for each individual action that is then coming out of the game. And this is why only certain games have got this, because only certain games have been written and send a signal to the audio in order to do that, or rather to the software Simulation Studio. And you can actually set up for telemetry and everything in this as well, and for full motion. But this was just really to do this. I don't know. I'm going to try and start GP bikes and see if we can actually get it. Now my GB bikes takes a long time to start up because it's over 100 gigabyte of mods. I run the database. I mean, I've got over 200 bikes, 200 tracks, thousands of paints, literally. My databases are getting full. So here comes GB bikes now. Now I'm hoping it's windowed. Yeah, it seems to be. Right. Settings. Yeah, you see, unfortunately, I've got to go to my system and calibrate it. So, excuse me while I go over here. Now, I've only just put this foot brake on it, so I don't know if it's even going to work. Brand new one, so I decided I wanted a gold master cylinder, so I put a gold one on it. So I haven't fully bled it or anything yet, so we got that. And now I've got to go back over. Bugger this. I've got to sign them. Lean left. Right. Throttle. Brake. Front brake. Rear brake. And clutch. Should be the same, but what we're going to do just to make it easier and just stick on all those, so I can just do a quick thing. Let's go to testing. I haven't set for view or anything, so I don't know what view I'm going to be in or any of that. But basically what we're going to see is now, if I can, I'm going to try and pull up sim racing. And now you can see it's pulled up game running, GP bikes. I don't know if I've got a profile for this particular bike. You can see there's a profile here. And that will change as I go through. So I go back in GP bikes. Whoa. Now can you hear that vibrating on the frame? So what we're going to do, and not everything is bolted down on this frame at the moment. So I'm going to turn down the intensity. See, that smooths it out. Yeah. Okay, well, you did give me an automatic box for some reason. But it's doing what it should do, which is what I wanted to show. Anyhow, the point is, the reason it stopped vibrating like that, what's vibrating is that bit down there, because it's not all been put together yet. I kind of wanted it to vibrate a bit, so that you would, ooh, that is a bit loud, so I'm just going to pause it. Got to get to the computer keyboard to pause it. So I left it so it does actually rattle, so you can see that it's actually working. So God knows how that sounded live and that. So anyhow, dude, sorry, I don't do pricing live or anything. You need to email me, please. So email doubledragoncc@yahoo.com. I've got options, and HS2 I don't build anymore. It's HS3 now only. So sorry about that, but no, I don't do sales while I'm doing YouTube. That's not what I do YouTube for. Not even on my website do I do sales. So please email me. Sorry, but that's the only way I do it, Paul. Anyhow, so now you've seen the basics, what you need software-wise, and like I said, it's a case of, unfortunately, yeah, you do have to spend a bit. I think there's other software. It goes up to about £90 for different software, and but Sim Racing Studio is perfect for GP bikes, and I'm doing real simulators, and it's the only real simulator, so I'm not going to use anything else, am I? So for 40 quid, yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, basically you get, I'll turn that off, so you'll get voicemail that's free. You know, it's donation, so I donate, so it's like, if you get the software, get it. But it also allows you not just for anything else, but also for the fact of, if you want to use your system differently, you can. I mean, you can use that Buttkicker, you can mount it to your sofa or your chair, and if you've got your gaming chair, you can mount it to your gaming chair and do a first-person shooter and tune it for your first-person shooter. So, but this was made for my frames. I'm just going to quickly grab a tailpiece. I'm going to move this forward a bit, because I don't want to put the tailpiece through my bloody 50-inch TV. You see, once this, I try and make sure I don't put it through the bloody TV. It's close. So you can see, once it's on there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my Brio again. Got to make sure I've got this on the right bloody screen, haven't I? Yeah. So there you can see, once it's actually on, so I've got the seat on now, and it's underneath, so it's inside. So you're not going to touch it with your leg. The bodyworks don't vibrate, they all come anyhow with a rubber mount. So none of the bodywork will vibrate. You can see it's nicely hidden once it's under there, and that's why I thought I'd move it. Take this off to show you how I mount it. Otherwise you wouldn't have seen how I'm doing it. think that basically concludes, how I actually do all that mounting. And end of the day, when I think about it, I think that's the first video I haven't even smoked a whole cigarette. I'm just about to finish it. So that's quite surprising. Because normally I'd smoked about 4 by now. So I hope, to goodness, the stream actually worked. And yeah, for the university, please get in touch with me, because I've been trying and I haven't heard back from you. And I've got to get this over to you. So anyhow, hope that helps out with a few people, and I will be doing some more full-on videos of actually using the Buttkicker with my system. I'm waiting on my HP Reverb G2 for VR, so I'll be doing a lot of VR content in GP bikes with the Buttkicker. So, and when you've got the Buttkicker, there's a lot you've got to do as well to use the VR and the Buttkicker together and everything else. So yeah, I'll definitely have about the closest realistic system that you can have in your front room that doesn't cost you 20,000, or you don't really need a whole room for it. So anyhow, thank you for watching, people. Please keep yourselves safe, and especially now we're just going into a new lockdown for about a month on Thursday. So yeah, look after yourselves, and I hope to see you soon. And maybe I'll try and make some more content for while we're all in lockdown. I can maybe give a bit of entertainment of some kind or another. I know I'm a bit of a boring old fart, and it is all technical stuff, but what can I do? Anyhow, people, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, it will help me, and everyone stay safe and healthy. Okay, I need to look for my mouse to see how the bloody hell I stopped the video. Right, thank you and goodbye.